City governments across the country, they seem like the ultimate gravy train. The money they are hauling in from parking tickets is hitting epic proportions. If you don't hate them enough, it is about to get even worse. No! And it's hitting a breaking point with many residents. Fox News' Adam Housley is in Los Angeles with more. I knew it. I knew it. They're licking their chops. They're looking at cars and sending out meter maids and just racking in the dough.
Yeah, and some cities seem to be worse than others. I can name a couple of here in Southern California. We hate to even go visit because when you park there, even if you feed the meter, you have to go back and double check yourself. It's amazing how much these little slips can bring in. And what's even more amazing is some of the signage. Well, obviously we had a truck pull up next to us here. A armored truck doesn't need to follow the signs, but everybody else needs to follow these signs to figure out how to park their car.
I just got a ticket, she gave me another ticket.
Expensive fines, confusing signs, and armies of meter maids. Cities are rolling in the dough thanks to parking violations.
They think of them as the new ATM machines.
In Los Angeles, parking tickets bring in 3 times more revenue than parking meters.
They want them high enough that they make a lot of money on them, but low enough that you're going to say, you know, it's not worth giving up a day and going to court.
Since 2005, ticket prices have nearly doubled in L.A., now starting at $63.
That's almost an entire day's wages for a minimum wage employee, and people can't afford that kind of thing.
Same story in Washington, D.C., which handed out nearly 2 million tickets and $100 million in fines last year.
They've substituted the parking tickets for the welcome mat.
Some cities even charge for Sunday parking, including San Francisco, which sits atop the list of highest ticket prices. So why not just obey the signs? Well, which ones? And what exactly do they all mean?
I have a graduate degree, and I can't read some of these signs. I don't know what's going on.
The signs are clear, according to LA's Department of Transportation, who told us, quote, "We frequently have multiple parking regulations that require more than one sign. The public is responsible for reading all posted signs and complying with the regulations in effect." The critics say there's got to be a better way for cities to raise money.
It would be better for our democracy if the cities realistically said this is what's going to cost us to provide these services, and these are the ways we think we ought to raise that money.
Now, Melissa, when I here in Los Angeles and also in San Francisco, when there used to be just coin machines, I used to worry about if I didn't have the coinage, I had to run in and get it, and would I make it back in time? Well, now, of course, they have the credit card machines, but even so, these slips are being handed out seemingly at higher numbers than ever before. And what makes it even more difficult is a lot of the outsourcing of the collection of these goes to another company. So, for example, one of our interns told us today she parked near her driveway, got written up for parking near her own driveway, sent in a contestant. She contested the ticket, still hasn't heard back. And the same thing happened to me a couple of years ago when I contested a ticket. I never heard back, and I eventually had to talk to the city manager to look into it. So it's a situation that a lot of cities are hoping people will just say, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to pay it and give them the money.
That's so true. And in the meantime, while you're fighting it, they say the ticket's in judgment and you get all these penalties and all this stuff, so they try and discourage you.
Oh, yeah.
Did any of the cities that you were talking to, did they admit that they have more meter maids out there handing out more tickets in order to raise revenue? Because I swear I see more cops out there on the beat trying to hand out tickets whenever the city's behind on money. Do they admit they do it that way or no?
Well, yes and no. First of all, there's 2 ways to look at this. Yes, police officers can write tickets, but a lot of these ticket writers are actually working in city cars, wearing city uniforms, and are outsourced. So it's not necessarily a police officer, it's a traffic officer. And secondly, there is a representative here in Los Angeles, a county supervisor, I won't say his name, but told me on the telephone, he calls it legalized extortion. He says it's complete baloney, and the county doesn't even get any of the money. He says it goes to the city, so they're frustrated. So when you get a ticket at a county facility in LA, it actually goes to the city.
Wow.
Doesn't even go to the county. So yeah, it's definitely a cash cow, especially here in Los Angeles.
I knew it. That's such a, it is complete baloney. Adam, thank you so much.
And
Great
you get
report.
tickets in front of your own houses.
I know.
Thank
And you probably got a ticket right now while you're doing this story, and they're going to be waiting outside your house so mad. You're in big trouble, my friend. Watch out.